Webflow is a fantastic tool when it comes to web design. But what if you're looking for alternatives? What if you don't have time or you don't have the capability or you don't have the money to actually go with Webflow? What are the alternatives? So here are the review I really want you to pay attention to right now. Number 10, we have Canva. Our score, 7.8 over 10. So Canva is really kind of cool for simple one-page websites, okay? I mean, given that Canva is generally considered to be a user-friendly graphic design tool instead of a website builder, okay? It's really important to understand that you only go with Canva if you're looking for something very simple, okay? One-page website, nothing complicated, nothing with advanced features. You have to be very so your expectations when you're using Canva as a website builder must be really restricted, okay? Don't actually go out there and think that Canva will give you like some kind of a fantastic tools and capabilities. No, but it is good. It's still good, okay? So 7.8 over 10. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having this sort of conversations every now and then. So this is just make yourself comfortable. Me casa, y tu casa, not a problem at all, okay? Number 9, we have Equid. Our score, 8 over 10. So Equid is kind of cool when it comes to adding a store to an existing site. In other words, if you, let's say you have a regular website, right? And you're just trying to, let's say you are trying to get e-commerce capabilities onto that website. So Equid will help you out, not a problem at all, okay? And what we love about Equid is that you are able to actually add a widget that allows you to, it's basically a snippet of code that allows you to, that you can insert on your site that allows you to have a comprehensive range of selling features to your platform, okay? So this is kind of cool. And what we love about Equid here is that they're constantly innovating. They're constantly kicking ass in terms of innovation. And the innovation, the innovative part, the innovative spirit can be really seen in their instant site capability. So the main advantage that Equid provides over Webflow, for example, is the pricing though. The platform can actually be used entirely for free. So Equid's free plan is basic though. It limits you to just selling 5 products. But hey, listen, if all you need is just selling 5 products, then it's a great way to actually do it. And we love the fact that the simplicity, the speed. If you don't have anything complicated in mind, then Equid will be a better option for you over Webflow. Number 8, we have here GoDaddy Website Builder. So when you think about GoDaddy website, you're thinking about, in our view, you have a great all-rounder. So GoDaddy is kind of cool when it comes to all kinds of website building, whether it is e-commerce or just a regular website, or even just to have a blog, okay? And the thing is here, GoDaddy is really popular among folks who are looking to build websites because the GoDaddy gives you a decent amount of content management and e-commerce functionality out of the box, okay? And GoDaddy Website Builder is a very easy to use website builder, but it also helps you customize a lot of stuff, okay? And there are a couple of reasons why you might want to consider it's like GoDaddy instead of Webflow. So it lets you sell larger digital files up to 20 gigabytes in size. Webflow limits you to selling 250 megabyte downloads, okay? GoDaddy handles generous emails marketing tools with its plans, and that's the cool thing. I mean, so when you think about because with Webflow, you're gonna have to get extra plugins like from GetResponse, from Aweber, and Mailchimp. Something you don't have to go through if you have to choose a GoDaddy. So you have this sort of a competitive edge that GoDaddy has over Webflow over there. Okay, in our view. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm actually sharing with you the top 10 Webflow alternatives. Okay, so if you don't like Webflow for some reason, or you can't use the tool for some reason, here are the alternatives you might want to think about. So number 7, we have Big Cartel. Our score here is 8.6 over 10. So when you think about if you're an online merchant right now, and you listen to me, and you're looking for a low cost option, Big Cartel could be actually your best bet, because it is a website and store building platform that was originally designed to facilitate sales of creative products. But nowadays you can use it for everything. Now it's true that it's a lot easier if you are an artist and you're trying to really scale your operations online. So Big Cartel has the tools and capabilities built for this type of business line. Okay, but you don't have to be a creator. You don't have to be a creative to actually avail yourself of all the tools and capabilities that Big Cartel has. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that Big Cartel does have a few advantages over Webflow. For example, you can sell you can sell a small number of products for free, and so it's cheaper than Webflow, and it's a lot easier to use. I mean, Big Cartel is a lot easier to use, not a problem. Number 6, we have BigCommerce. Our score 8.8 over 10. So when you think about BigCommerce, in our view, as a Webflow alternative, if you're looking for e-commerce capability, BigCommerce is actually up there. Okay, and so BigCommerce is in the same league at Shopify, WooCommerce, and Squarespace and Wix. Okay, so the thing what we love about the BigCommerce is that it was originally designed with e-commerce in mind. Okay, so basically you are having what, right, like you're having structurally in the service, you're having a compilation, or a constellation rather, a constellation of services that enable and catapult your online store right off the bat. So you're able to have, of course, to avail yourself of a BigCommerce's drag and drop editor. Okay, you basically can have your CMS, the content management system capabilities right off the bat. One thing I need to say here is that the drag and drop editor in BigCommerce is not as great as what you find on Webflow. Okay. Number 5, we have here Square. Our score 9 over 10. So when you think about Square, I want you to think about a great tool for point of sale. Okay, Square actually dominates Webflow when it comes to point of sale, because as a matter of fact, Square actually started as an online. They actually started as a point of sale solution for actually accepting in-person transactions, right? So later on, they actually grew. They became bigger. They are kicking ass like crazy, and they're like a more than decent option when it comes to e-commerce. Okay, and so this is kind of cool. And on top of that, so you have Square Online. You also have the fact that they actually bought Weebly not long ago. So because they actually recently acquired Weebly, they actually have doubled their capabilities, or even tripled their capabilities. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that Square Online is aimed at small business owners, particularly those working in the catering industry. If you're in the restaurant industry, if you are in the food industry, then you will love a Square Online. Okay. And but overall, this is a great solution. It's worth also noting that Square is basically constantly improving its offer. So this is just great. Number 4, we have WordPress. Our score 9.3 over 10. So when you think about WordPress, I want you to think about a tool that allows you to create bespoke websites. Now, when we talk about bespoke or customized website, Webflow and WordPress are up in there in that category, because Webflow, as you know, allows you to also have a bespoke presence online. The only difference here is that when it comes to WordPress, you have 2 versions available. You have hosted and self-hosted. So for the hosted, this is where you actually choose the SaaS option, the software as a service option, whereby you're basically paying a provider like $20 or $30 a month or whatever, and they'll take care of everything for you. So you can access the website everywhere. You don't have to worry about security. You don't have to worry about all the updates. If there are plugin updates, everything is done for you. But if you have the self-hosted option, this is basically where you have to take care of things yourself. Okay, either version of WordPress is better than Webflow if blogging is a key part of what you're trying to achieve, because Webflow is not really designed for blogging. WordPress is. Okay, WordPress is a best-in-class publishing tool and lets you use your blog content in a huge number of imaginative ways. So this is stuff that you can really avail yourself of. I mean, Webflow does allow you to do blogging, but they do place limits on the number of blog posts you can create, which if you're a high output blogger or publisher could cause problems for you. Okay, so Webflow is really great when it comes to animation, not when it comes to producing content. By the way, boss, let me quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about the top 10 Webflow alternatives, so you have a clear idea which option to choose if you don't like Webflow or you can't use Webflow right now. Okay, number 3, we have Shopify. So Shopify is great for Shopify. Our score is 9.5 over 10. Shopify is great for e-commerce overall. Okay, if your main aim is to build like a strong and consistent and durable, sustainable presence online, Shopify is an all-rounder. Okay, you can sell products anywhere you like, whether that's via your online store, a point of sale, or via a huge range of dropshipping suppliers. Okay, such as Spockets, such as Adobe, such as Printful, okay? And also you can sell internationally if you go through a Shopify, something that you can't really do all the time via Webflow. So in that sense, Shopify is a little superior to Webflow. Number 2, we have here Wix, our score. 9.7 over 10. When you think about Wix, I want you to think about a great all-rounder, a great service. So you're able to actually use the tool to do a lot of things. You know, when it comes to e-commerce tools, when it comes to capabilities, when it comes to all the things that really matter for you in terms of all the ability that you have to do. So it's really important to really understand that it's the bottom line here is that you got to ask yourself, am I really willing to go through this? Like, am I willing to do this on my own, or am I willing to need some help? Because Wix is great when it comes to templates. Wix is just fantastic when it comes to templates. Okay, you have like in our view, the main advantages that Wix has over Webflow involves things like e-commerce tools. So they are considerably more developed with more options available to users for dropshipping, point of sale, and task calculation. For example, you have themes. So Wix gives you a much larger selection of free customizable templates to choose from. I mean, the thing about Webflow is that you have the animation, you have the sleek templates, fantastic. But in terms of sheer quantity of themes, Wix is really superior in that department. You have translation features, okay, while creating multilingual sites with Webflow typically involves using a fairly expensive plugin, Weglot. You can translate your site into multiple languages with Wix for free. So really, it's really kind of cool to have. Number 1, the best of the best in our view, Squarespace. Our score, 9.8 over 10. So Squarespace is really cool for ease of use and also great for templates, okay? Now, Squarespace is actually, in our view, when it comes to Webflow, one of the best alternatives, okay, if not the best, because you know you are basically placing a lot of emphasis on aesthetics, on cosmetics, on visuals, okay. And if you're an artist, if you are in a let's say in a sector where you care a lot about aesthetics, then you want to go with Squarespace, okay. And Squarespace has a lot of perks, a lot of advantages over Webflow. For example, ease of use. So we love the fact that, you know, Squarespace has a very clean, intuitive interface, and this is kind of cool. And it's much easier to use than Webflow. In terms of bandwidth, you actually get unlimited bandwidth and storage on all Squarespace plans, and e-commerce capabilities are more advanced on Squarespace than they are on the Webflow. And I also want to, in the overview, I just want to say that it's important to understand that when we talk about Webflow, we're speaking about, you know, a tool that allows you to create a very mobile responsive, a very like an all-in-one website. So those 10 players that I just mentioned, they were really wonderful. But don't forget that if your goal is to be present online, you have other places where you can create an online presence right off the bat, right? So think about online marketplaces. I mean, the Amazon, the Etsy, the eBay, the Walmart marketplace, the Facebook marketplace, the Bonanza, the Newegg of the world. Okay, so you have the ability to actually establish an immediate presence online by actually creating an account and actually starting your store or your account on those platforms. So this is kind of cool. I mean, those players do have advantages over Webflow, because if you actually set up your Webflow account by yourself, you're going to work on things like traffic generation. You're going to have to actually create ads. You're going to have to do all the paperwork, not paperwork, all the hard work to actually draw traffic to your store. Okay, but if you were to go on Amazon, Etsy, eBay, you were to go on Facebook Marketplace, you do have the audience right away. I mean, and I'm not talking about small ass audience. You're speaking about a large audience that's there, and folks who are there, they are willing to buy from you and other players. By the way, competition is kind of high though because you're competing with a lot of other players in the same niche. Okay, so but it has its pros and cons. You're gonna have to decide what really works for you. Okay, and so those 10 players that I just shared with you, in addition to the 5 marketplaces that I just listed, they're not the only players that you should consider if you want to think about Webflow alternatives. You have a lot of other players like WebNode, you have Volusion, you have Strikingly, you have PixSpot, you have Jimdo, you have Ionos. Ionos, this is the one-on-one, player, the one-on-one service company, okay, called One-on-One. Also, Google Sites, yeah, Google Sites can be. I mean, Google Sites is a little rudimentary, but it's still interesting to consider. You have Gator by HostGator. You also have a Duda. So you have there a constellation of players that can really help you also if your goal is to actually find something alternatively to Webflow. Let me give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. It's really important to understand that when we talk about Webflow, we're talking about you trying to have a bespoke website. You want to have animation in the website. You are trying to have really a fully customizable website. Okay. So, but the thing is, you can achieve, like, if that's your goal, Webflow is basically the best. Now, if you want to get the same level of animation, the same depth, the same sort of sleekness, if you will, the same creativity, the other players that I just mentioned here are kind of cool too. The first two ones being Wix and Squarespace. Okay, in terms of the aesthetic nature, the aesthetic appeal of the platform itself. Okay, and it's really important to understand that you can also get a free alternative to Webflow. So popular hosted alternatives include Wix, Big Cartel, and Equid. So the free versions on all these platforms are very basic, however. And in the case of Wix, you will have to live with a lot of prominent advertising if you use its free version. Self-hosted WordPress is also technically free, although you need to buy hosting in order to use it. Okay, so this is something that you need to think about. So do professional web designers use Webflow? Yes, they use Webflow all the time because Webflow allows you to create very bespoke websites and export your site code easily. It's a very popular platform choice among professional web designers. And so they have about, as of the date of this show, they have about 500,000, okay, 500,000 live sites that have been built using the Webflow platform. Okay, and Webflow is kind of cool also when it comes to SEO. Okay, their SEO capabilities are very strong because the Webflow platform gives you control over all over the key SEO components of your site, like things like your meta page, your title. Okay, it also has built-in SSL and fast loading sites, thanks to a CDN comprised of over 100 data centers. So overall, this is kind of cool. Now, one thing I want to say here is that Webflow is not easy for designers, or for beginners, not designers. Webflow is not easy for beginners because of the fact that there's a bit of coding involved here. But if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to be patient and really learn all the ins and outs, it's not like the learning curve is not really that big. You can learn this like real fast depending on your level of commitment. Okay, it all boils down to commitment. It all boils down to consistency. If you're committed and you are consistent, you will learn this workflow tool real fast. Before I close today's conversation, I want to acquaint you with our e-commerce platform evaluation approach. We do have a methodical approach when it comes to evaluating, when it comes to listing and categorizing e-commerce platforms. And I want you to look right now. Very soon, I'll show you on the screen. I want you to look right now at our methodology. We'll leave every screenshot about 5 to 10 seconds on screen so you can see exactly. Please feel free to pause and read all our criteria before so you can have a clear idea of how we work. So here we go. All right, let's quickly recap to this conversation here. So here are the top 10 Webflow alternatives. Number one, we have Squarespace, our score 9.8 over 10. Number two, we have a Wix, our score 9.7 over 10. Number three, we have Shopify, our score 9.5 over 10. Number four, we have WordPress, 9.3 over 10. Number five, we have Square, 9 over 10. Number six, we have BigCommerce, 8.8 over 10. Number seven, we have Big Cartel, 8.6 over 10. Number eight, we have GoDaddy, 8.3 over 10. Number 9, we have Equid, our score 8 over 10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have Canva, our score 7.8 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.